For Kansas Christian, the Falcons at 27 from Overland Park, Kansas. John Jansen in his second season, starting number 1, Antonio Daniels, number 10, Darwin James, number 11, Ja'Cory Washington, number 13, Stephone Jackson, and number 24, Corday Bass. That's the starters for both of these teams. These two teams met twice during the regular season. Kansas won both meetings. And we'll tell you about the scores in those games here in just a moment. So, Kansas coming off that 10-point loss against Champion in the opening round of the tournament. And for Rhema, they lost to Carolina Christian, the number 2 seed, by a score of 99-96. Then lost to AFLBS in the consolation bracket as well. So Rhema looking for its first win of the season, or of the tournament, excuse me, their 8-win season, of course. Again, these two teams meeting for the third consecutive, or the third time this year. Kansas Christian won 116-76 back on February 4th, and then won 96-78 back on February 11th. So it's the third time in a month that these two teams have met on the court, and they do so here in this national tournament. Use the hashtag ACCA Sports, folks, if you want to chat with us during today's broadcast, if you have a Twitter account. A lot of folks have made the trip here to Joplin, although today's game sparsely attended. I've had the chance to meet a lot of folks who I've been talking at over the years, and it's good to see. So if you have some folks in town, tell them to come on up and say hi. Rhema got the tip. This is Brown, top of the key. Swings it over to Guerrero. Guerrero had 51 in the opening round, lost to Carolina. Ball batted around, taken away by Darwin James. James goes behind the back. Extra pass to Daniels, and he lays it up and in. So Kansas getting the turnover, averaging over 15 steals per game. And they get the scoring party started, leading it 2-0. Del Guerrero top of the key. Left side, it's Brown. Brown now up top. Goes back left side. Here's Jones to the cutter, Toronzo. Toronzo skies it off the glass and in. Even at 2 apiece here in the early stages. So 2-2, 1 minute into the game. Darwin James, top of the key. Man defense for Rhema. Washington on the left. Daniels trying to make it 2 for 2. Shot goes in and out. Hagan the rebound. Into the forecourt, it's Brown. Jermaine Brown to Guerrero. The step back baseline shot by Dell is short. Rebound by Jackson. Kansas Christian, the top scoring team in the ACCA at 91 points per game. Rhema is third at 87. As I mentioned, Kansas put up big numbers in the first 2 meetings against Rhema. This time of the year, and it doesn't matter, this is a at-large tournament. Anybody can come, or anybody that's a member, I should say, can come, but it doesn't matter record-wise. When you get into March, the defense picks up. In transition, Hagan with the 2. Rhema with a 4-2 lead. That ball poked away by Brown, but Brown called for the foul. First foul of the game for either team. Winner of this game will play the loser of Barclay and Ozark, which is our 2 p.m. game for 7th place. The loser of this game, their tournament is over. Clock issue had us held up for a moment. Darwin James to inbound it for Kansas. Daniels between the circles, over to James on the right. James will back it out. Patient offense, and that ball taken away. Del Guerrero with the steal, 3-on-2 now for Rhema, floating it up. Jones misses, put back attempt by Brown, no good. James had it out of bounds, but lost it. Unable to get rid of it, I should say, so it'll stay with Rhema. So Brown will inbound it. Fresh 30 to work with for the Eagles. We've talked about it all tournament long. Eagles lost Kendrick Williams for the season in the second semester. Jones got that bucket to go. Perry Shockley told me before the first game against Carolina that they lost another scorer back in November. All combined, they've lost about 70 points per game. Kendrick Williams was averaging 35.5. Players have stepped up in this tournament. Although they haven't gotten any victories, Del Guerrero had the best game in the tournament in a long time with 51 points in the loss to Carolina. Toronzo came off the bench and was red hot yesterday in the loss against Applebus. Traveling, turnover, and Perry Shockley wants to yell at his team for a little bit, so we're going to take a timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds. I mentioned Toronzo had a big game yesterday against Applebus, had 20 points off the bench. Kansas, Antonio Daniels with 4 of the first 6 for the Falcons. We are tied at 6 apiece here in the early going of this consolation game. The reverse, Toronzo too strong on it. That's Jackson, throw ahead to Washington. Washington can't get the finger roll. Guerrero the board. Here comes Jones for Rhema. Toronzo drives in. Dishes it out to Brown. Toronzo fakes the 3. Pull up from mid-range, no good. Tip for the rebound, and Daniels gets it. Washington into the forecourt now for Kansas. On the left, it's Bass. Jackson, Daniels driving on the baseline, can't get the roll, but he will go to the line for 2 shots. 3 fouls on Rhema, none yet on Kansas. Rhema has racked up the fouls here in this tournament. Daniels misses the first one, 75% free throw shooter. Daniels played at an NAIA school last year, Central Christian, averaged under 4 a game. Senior puts Kansas up by 1. He's got 5 of the Kansas 7 points already, averaging 13 a game on the year. Brown to the bucket, double pump, shot goes in and out. Rhema on top. Darwin James, top of the key. Jackson from downtown, no good. Rebound controlled by Hagan. That ball deflected. Nice job by Washington. Toronzo stays with it, though. And they say he was out of bounds. So ball goes back to the Falcons. Kansas Christian, prior to that loss in the opening round against Champion, had lost just one other time to an ACCA opponent. Mentioned they beat Rhema twice during the regular season, won 3 times against Ozark, and split against Arlington. Darwin James out to Daniels. Daniels the mid-range, off the back iron. Ball deflected, and it's going off of Brown. So it'll stay with Kansas. James will inbound it. Darwin tied for third in the ACCA with 4.1 assists per game. He's second during the regular season with 58 steals. And he's just a senior. Elijah Ransom checking into the game. Wilkins DeSur, number 12 for the Falcons as well. Ransom had some moments yesterday against Champion. Darwin James to the bucket. Double pump, shot too strong. Brown the rebound. Here comes Rhema. Guerrero corner three. Nope, missed it short. Hagan the offensive rebound. Back out to Guerrero. Rainbows it off the back of the rim. And good box out by DeSur on the rebound. Throw ahead to Daniels. Daniels forcing that pass. But Hagan saved it right to Ransom, who missed the layup. So not a great sequence of basketball action there, but Rhema survives it. Guerrero chucking him. Missing again. DeSur the rebound. DeSur outlet looking for Daniels. Good defense again by Hagan to bat that away. Brown with the steal. Toronzo to Hagan, and Hagan lost it. Looking for a foul call. Ransom the steal instead. Ransom to the bucket. No, but he's fouled, and he'll go to the line. 4 team fouls on Rhema. None yet on Kansas here in the early going. Hiroshima, glad to be with you from Joplin. Day number 3 of the 2019 ACCA tournament. It's my 6th year, and my voice is doing as well as it's ever done. Everybody always asks, so I thought I'd mention it. First free throw is good. Guerrero, correction, it's Delvin Tucker into the game for Toronzo. Ransom 1 out of 2 at the line. Rebound by Brown. Brown, good rebounding guard. In fact, he's the second best rebounder in this tournament at 8.4 per game. He's got 3 or 4 already here today. Ball deflected. Ransom with the steal. James outlet to Jackson. Jackson inside the arc. Pull up, no. Guerrero's got the rebound. Guerrero goes behind the back. Almost lost the dribble, but able to chase it down. Guerrero out to Brown. Hagan back to Brown. Brown turns on the Jets. The reverse too strong. Darwin James the board. All tied at 8, 7 minutes in. Jackson trying to change that. He's blocked but fouled. You can hear the whack up here, and he'll go to the line. Nico Kutanyang getting set to come in for Rhema. Ja'Cory Washington's coming back for Kansas after this free throw attempt here. First one rims in for Jackson. Kansas back on top. Hagan will sit down for Rhema, and Darwin James hits the bench for Kansas on the sub. Jackson 69% free throw shooter on the season. Trying to get them both here. And he does. So the Falcons lead by 2, 10-8, 7 minutes into the game. Josh Plain checking in. Started yesterday's game. Coming off the bench, replacing Jackson here this afternoon. Brown, entry pass to Guerrero is deflected. Brown able to save it in the corner, threw it away, and now I believe Plain was out of bounds when he batted that ball, so Guerrero will inbound it. 17 to shoot for the Eagles. In the Brown. Brown throws it up off the back iron. Kutanyang, the putback is good, and we are tied again at 10. Kansas going quickly. Washington rises off the back of the rim. Kutanyang the rebound. Brown into the forecourt. Here's Jones, turnaround hook. Can't get the friendly bounce, and Daniels tips the rebound to himself as he toes the baseline. Ransom out near midcourt. Here's DeSur on the right. Daniels with the hand in his face off the back of the rim. Brown the rebound. Brown too strong again. Another rebound for Ransom. 3-on-1, Kansas. And Guerrero blocks the shot. This time Brown good in the lane and Rhema by 2. Del Guerrero, the only defender back, got the rejection. Guerrero had 17 blocks during the regular season. Daniels, front rim on the miss. Guerrero on the run out. Pull up 3. Yes. Into the forecourt, Washington. DeSur on the right. Ransom from the free throw line extended, no good. Tip for the rebound. It's chased down by Tucker in the forecourt. Tucker out of control, can't get it. Washington the board. Here come the Falcons looking to push. Washington, outlet to Daniels. No, but he's fouled. And we'll go back to the line. – 16 fouls on Rhema, none yet on the Falcons, but it's the Eagles with the lead. 2 blowout victories for Kansas over Rhema in the regular season, but the Eagles playing well against the Falcons here today. As Daniels cuts into the deficit. Jermaine Brown goes to the bench. Toronzo comes back in. Set the 5 on the floor for it. Well, no, I thought that Brown was coming out, but it was Jones who hits the bench. Set the 5 for both teams here as Kansas makes a couple of subs. For Kansas, it's Plain and Ransom with DeSur, Jackson, and Washington. For Rhema, it's Tucker and Brown with Toronzo, Guerrero, and Okutanyang. Toronzo top of the key, drives in, extra pass, looking for Tucker. It's off the mark, but Jackson can't come up with it. 13 to shoot for Rhema. They lead by 1, or by 2, by 3. Oh boy. Game number 11 of 21 is not going well for me right now. Shot clock winding down. Brown the air ball. 15 to 12 is the correct score on your screen. Jackson. Here's DeSur, got it to go. So DeSur cuts the deficit down to 1. Guerrero can't get it to go, and on the rebound there's going to be a foul on Okutanyang, and that's going to send Jackson to the line for a 1-and-1. Blake Hagan comes into the game. Okutanyang, 2 quick fouls. And a 1-and-1 now for Stephon Jackson, 69% free throw shooter. Blake Hagan back out there. Jones also returning for Rhema. Jackson, the junior from Dallas. Short on it. Rebound controlled by Jones. Brown into the forecourt for the Eagles. Jones back to Brown, top of the key. Here's Hagan, nice cut, counted and the foul. Hagan will go to the line. Try to complete an old school 3-point play. First foul of the game for Kansas at the 9:41 mark. Hagan is a 46% free throw shooter. Completes the 3-point play. Rhema leads by 4. Daniels comes back into the game for Kansas as DeSur hits the bench. This is Washington. Ransom turns on the Jets, goes right around the defender Toronzo and scores. Brown into the front court. Here's Hagan, back to Brown. Cut off on the baseline. Brown into the lane. Hagan tried to tip it, keep possession, and it's saved to Daniels. Here comes Kansas. Nice bounce pass looking for Jackson off the pass from Plain, but it's deflected and taken back by the Eagles. Brown, Toronzo had it deflected, almost a steal there. Toronzo stays with it, pull up three, no good. Del Guerrero, the offensive rebound, he'll trigger a three. It's an air ball. Washington out on the run now for the Falcons. Bounce pass to Daniels. DeSur, the rocket underneath, that's deflected. Players diving for it. Hagan comes out of the pack with it. Brown back to Toronzo. Toronzo for three, yes. Eagles by 5. Here's Ransom on the left. Kansas trying to get something going. Jackson, trouble with the pass, able to gather. Daniels, catch and shoot for Plain for three, and he connects. Kansas calls for time. We'll step aside. 21 7:51 left to go here in this first half, and bit of a surprise. Rhema with a 2-point lead. Kansas winning 2 decisive regular season games against the Eagles during the regular season. But Rhema playing well here today. Nice defense coming into the game. B.J. Murray gets the steal for Kansas. For the Falcons, Bass out there. Plain. Daniels. Murray. I think I'm missing one. Looks like Jackson is the 5th guy. Toronzo has it on the right off the turnover for the Eagles. Inside 7 to go here in this first half of this consolation game. Brown, Toronzo. Back to Brown. Brown throws up a wild shot. Can't get it to go. Shot clock was winding down. Now it resets. Jackson goes coast to coast and ties us at 21 apiece. Brown into the forecourt. Primary ball handler for Rhema. Brown 4.6 assists per game. Toronzo, jumper no good. Ball deflected. Hagan dives for it. Tried to throw it out. Instead, it's taken back by Plain. Throw up by Jackson, can't get it to go. Brown the rebound. Inside 6 to go. 7-1 the fouls. Rhema with 7, just 1 in the game so far for Kansas. Nice bounce pass. Plain to Murray. Bucket off the mark. Put back is good though by Bass. So Corday gives the Falcons a 2-point lead. Brown into the forecourt. Brown takes it right, throws it up, yes. We are tied again at 23. Bass throws it to the corner. Murray from downtown off the back of the rim. Bass got the offensive rebound out to Jackson. Top of the key, it's Ransom. Correction, that's Plain for three. Can't get it. And then underneath, offensive foul on the rebound. Second on Kansas. Guerrero and Tucker back out there for Rhema, joining Hagan and Toronzo and Brown. Guerrero into the forecourt. Ball deflected. Toronzo able to chase it down. Toronzo, bad pass. Plain throws ahead, and Daniels puts it up and in. Antonio Daniels, 23 blocks on the defensive end during the regular season, most in the ACCA. His offense has been on point here today. How about Hagan? Little turnaround hook shot. We are tied again at 25. Murray with the pass, and Daniels not expecting it, and it goes out of bounds. Kansas a little too cute that time as they turn it over. Eagles and Falcons are tied at 25 apiece. Several ties and lead changes here in this one. It's been close throughout. Guerrero. Guerrero is fouled. That's 3 on Kansas. Kansas Christian last year lost in the championship game to Arlington, and they're in danger here now of going home on the third day of the tournament. Winner of this game, this is essentially the play-in game for the 7th place game. The winner of this game will play the loser of Barclay and Ozark for 7th place tomorrow morning. Guerrero top of the key, drives in, scoops it to Brown. Brown too strong. Okutanyang comes in and commits another foul. He's up to 3 now in about 2 minutes of actual game time. 8th team foul, so still 1-1 here for Kansas on the other end, and I believe it's Plain who will take them. Joshua Plain, 74% free throw shooter. Hagan comes right back in for Okutanyang. Plain from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, misses the front end. Rebound controlled by Brown. Here comes Rhema, deadlocked in a low-scoring affair. Brown rejected by Plain. Rhema stays with it. Guerrero trying to draw a foul. Can't do it. His bucket also misses short. Jackson on the run out. The bounce pass to Bass, and he lays it up and in to put Kansas back up on top, 27-25. Kansas, Guerrero for 3, an air ball. And that's going to go out to the Falcons. Kansas outscored opponents by an average of 17 points per game during the regular season. 14-0 when they scored 90 points or more. 6 times they went over 100. Rhema, the same story, 87 points per ball game. They scored over 100 points 4 times this year and over 90 11 times. Both offenses are struggling, and it's been a sloppy game here in the consolation bracket. Jones is in for Tucker for Rhema. Del Guerrero also hitting the bench. And it looks like Tucker came back in for him. Toronzo also out there with Brown and Hagan. That's the 5 for Rhema. Brown underneath for Jones. Got it to go off the glass. We are tied again at 27. So it hasn't been pretty, but it's been very competitive. Driving is Murray. Too strong off the glass. Tip for the rebound. Hagan collects. 2:29 left to go here in this first half. We'll take our usual halftime break. Rhema turns it over now. Darwin James and Wilkins DeSur. Also Elijah Ransom returning. So 3 newcomers for the Falcons. James got a long break. His fresh legs bring it into the forecourt. Ransom goes around Guerrero, blocked but fouled by Hagan. And Elijah Ransom, 68% free throw shooter, goes to the line for 2. Hagan picks up his second. That's 9 now on Rhema. So Kansas will be in the double bonus on the next defensive set foul. Falcons with 3 team fouls. Falcons from Overland Park, 20-7 after that opening round loss to Champion. Hagan leaves. And coming in for Rhema is Ben Waters, number 21. So 2-point game for Kansas. Brown into the forecourt. Toronzo back to Brown. Brown looking underneath for James. Threads it through the defenders. James triple team. That leaves Toronzo open, and he makes them pay. Toronzo, 31% three-point shooter during the regular season. Gets that one to go. Driving Ransom. Goes around 2 defenders. Too strong on the bucket. Jones the rebound, though. Rhema by 1. Brown splits the defense. Floater in the lane. Yes. Nearing 1 minute to play here in this first half. James quickly into the forecourt. His bounce pass deflected, taken away by Waters. 4 on 2 for Rhema. They slow it up now. Tucker for 3. Off the back iron. And Daniels skies for the rebound. Throws ahead to DeSur. DeSur alley-oop to Bass, and he's bumped. So Bass will get 2 free throws.
Eagles foul number 4, Josh Toronto, his second, team's 10. At the line for the Falcons, number 24, Corday Bass.
Toronzo picks up his second. Corday Bass, 71% free throw shooter. Swishes through the first one. Chance to cut the deficit down to 1 if he can hit them both. Just 1 out of 2. Waters the rebound. So inside a minute to go. 45 seconds to be exact here in this first half. Winner gets into the 7th place game. The loser is done for the season. Brown running some clock here. Shot clock at 9. Brown turns on the Jets and draws contact. So Brown will go to the line. He's shaken up, slow to get up.
Falcons foul number 5, Elijah Ransom.
Jermaine Brown, 67% free throw shooter.
At the line for the Eagles, number 11, Jermaine Brown.
Brown connects on the first.
Entry for the Falcons for 13,
Stephone Jackson, 43% three-point shooter, comes back in here for the final possession for Kansas. Plain also back out there. touchdowns short on that one, so just 1 out of 2. Now Kansas can hold for the final shot here of the half if they choose to do so. James Jackson had it deflected out of bounds, so it'll stay with the Falcons with just under 16 seconds to work with. Jackson to James, and James will run some clock here. James with 8. James, quadruple team, threw it up anyways. Jones takes it away. Toronzo to beat the buzzer. Yes. So the Eagles of Rhema lead by 5 in this consolation game. We'll take a 15-minute halftime break. Come back and bring you the second half here in just a little bit. You're watching the 2019 ACCA Men's Basketball Tournament from Joplin, Missouri. We'll be back. Back here in Joplin, 35-30. Rhema in the play-in game for the 7th place game. Let's take a look at the first half numbers as the Falcons get set to inbound it. Eagles out shooting Kansas Christian 39% to 33%. Rhema +5 in rebounding, 27 to 22. Points in the paint, 22-16 in favor of Rhema. Points off turnovers, 11 to 7 in favor of Kansas. Kansas's bench outscoring Rhema by a 10 to 2 margin. Leading scorer in the ball game is Antonio Daniels for Kansas Christian. He's got 11 points. One other player in double figures in the game, Josh Toronzo for Rhema, leads them with 10 points. Jermaine Brown has 9. Blake Hagan with 7 points and 6 rebounds. Jermaine Brown on his way to a double-double as well. He's got 9 and 7 to go along with 3 assists. I mentioned Daniels, the leading scorer for Kansas, with 11 points. Bass and Ransom each have 5 apiece as well. 2 steals for Joshua Plain. And those are your first half numbers. Winner of this game goes to the 7th place game tomorrow morning. The loser of this game is done. Falcons beat Rhema, handily during the regular season. These two teams met twice, both in February. Rhema and Kansas back on the 4th. It was 116 to 78 in favor of the Falcons. And then a few weeks later, 1 week later, it was Kansas 96-78 over Rhema. So 2 blowout victories for Kansas over the Eagles during the regular season, but it's been a different story here today, and the Eagles have come out strong here, leading by 9. Bass on the reverse, got it to go. First field goal of the half for Kansas. This Kansas team just 32 points, averages over 90 a game. Great ball movement. Guerrero to Jones for 2. In transition, answering back to Sir, yes, in the foul. Correction, that's Jackson. So Jackson with the bucket and the foul. Stephon Jackson, 2 out of 3 from the charity stripe today. Tucker into the game. Toronzo picks up his 3rd foul. Both teams with an early team foul here in the opening minutes of this second half. (41-35). Rhema's lead is 6. That ball batted, taken away. Good defense by Daniels. Daniels gets it on the run out and scores. Rhema going quickly. Here's Hagan. Hagan tosses it out. Toronzo open 3. Yes. Darwin James into the lane. He'll back it out now. Jackson drives left of the lane. Pull-up shot, no. Tip for the rebound. Bass comes up with it. Jackson driving in, double-teamed and fouled.
Eagles foul for 30, Delvin Tucker, his first, team second.
Second on Rhema already. Bass drives, missed it short. Guerrero with the tip, and nobody can corral the rebound for Rhema, so Washington says, thank you very much, I'll take it and score. Falcons showing press here. And they get a steal. Washington takes it away, and Ransom can't handle it. Jermaine Brown checks into the game. Tucker will hit the bench. Brown, 7 rebounds, 9 points. Did not start the second half. Interesting. There's James with the steal. Daniels 3-on-3 with the two-hand jam. Kansas has cut it down to a 3-point lead. Toronzo beats the press. Here's Brown in the lane, missed it back iron, tipped for the rebound, and it's going the other way. Another foul on Rhema, that's 3. Timeout by the Eagles, will step aside. 17:03 left to go in the game. Rhema with the lead, but Kansas trying to storm back. Welcome back to Joplin Ozark Christian College, the site for the 2019 ACCA Men's Basketball Tournament in the consolation bracket. Winner of this game plays for 7th place tomorrow at 10:45. The loser is done for the season. Kansas has trailed by as many as 9 here in the half, but they have cut the deficit down to 1 now off Daniels' jumper. Rhema having trouble with the press, able to break it this time. Hagan misses the jumper short. Put back by Brown is no good. Darwin James into the circle, into the lane. James can't get the friendly roll. Jones collects the rebound for Rhema. Toronzo. Del Guerrero thought about the step back. Instead, Toronzo gets a screen, open look as he steps left. No, Guerrero the offensive rebound. He goes to the bucket and draws a foul. Second on Kansas here in the second half, just about 4 minutes in. James picks up his first. Del Guerrero at the line, 4-2. Guerrero 74% free throw shooter. Wilkins DeSur comes into the game for Kansas. Rhema leads by 3 again. DeSur on the far side. Daniels driving left of the lane, banks it off the glass and in. Antonio Daniels, 56% shooting during the regular season. 3 by Toronzo is off the mark. Rebound by Daniels. On the run, it's Washington, yes. Kansas has come from 9 back to retake the lead, 47-46. Falcons. Jermaine Brown. Guerrero for 3. Off the back iron. Long rebound chased down by Jones in the corner. Extra possession for Rhema, then Guerrero loses the dribble. Outlet goes to Washington, and Kansas is on a roll right now, leading 49-46. On the deflection, Guerrero will inbound it right of the hoop. Jones back to Guerrero for 3. Missed it short. Rebound by DeSur. And the bounce pass. That was Jackson on the rebound. Jackson bounce pass to DeSur. Kansas numbers are hard to make out. especially the 12, the 2s and 3s.
At the line for the Falcons, number 12, Wilkins Azier.
DeSur at the line. First free throws of the game today. Wilkins 62% free throw shooter on the season. So Rhema came out strong here in the second half, took a 9-point lead, but Kansas has stabilized thanks in part to forcing turnovers. The full court press has worked for the Falcons here in the second half, and they now lead by 5. Guerrero to Jones, back to Guerrero. Guerrero stripped from behind by Jackson. Into the forecourt, Washington. Jackson, quick pass to Bass. Yes, and the foul. And the Falcons with a chance for an old-school three-point play to go up 8 here. Corday Bass at the free throw line. And he completes the play. 54-46. Neek Okutanyang coming into the game. So some size for Rhema as Toronzo comes out. 5 team fouls already on the Eagles, by the way. Okutanyang pass deflected, and it's chased down by Hagan. Guerrero pass poked away, last touch by the Falcons. Timeout. Perry Shockley and Rhema want to talk it over. We'll step aside with 14:29 left to go. Welcome back. Rhema with the basketball, trailing by 8 after taking a 9-point lead here in the second half. The Eagles having some problems taking care of the basketball. Out near midcourt, this is Brown, just 4 on the shot clock. He throws it away. Another steal for Kansas. Throw ahead Jackson to Washington, and he lays it up and in. The Falcons leading by 10. Guerrero, throw to Jones in the forecourt. Jones, couple of pumps, can't get it to go. Tip for the rebound. Washington comes up with it. Washington out to Jackson. Jackson to DeSur. Now Daniels in the corner. .12 to shoot. Washington missed it short, tried to follow his shot. I think he got fouled by Hagan, is going to be the call here. Hagan is up to 4 fouls. Rhema's got 6 now. They have really struggled in this tournament. Playing defense without fouling has been a constant problem. So extra possession for the Falcons. Bass looking to drive, and Ben Waters comes in, and he's called for a ticky-tack foul. Team foul number 7, so Kansas is shooting free throws over the final 13-19 of this one. So Bass at the line. Front end of the 1-and-1, no good. Waters the rebound. Ball don't lie, folks. Jones into the forecourt, and Rhema is out of sync right now. DeSer with the inbound. Corey Washington into the forecourt for Kansas. Zone for Rhema. DeSer got it to Jackson. Here's Daniels. Nice cut by Bass, and he gets the reverse. The assist to Daniels. Kansas by 12. Increasing their biggest lead of the game, going to a press here. That ball deflected. Guerrero can't find it. Washington to steal. Jackson back to DeSer for 2. This is the best we've seen Kansas play in either game here in this second half. Jones for Rhema. Guerrero forces a 3. Jackson the board. Falcons, Jackson blocked but fouled, and Jackson's going to the line.
Eagles foul number 21, Ben Waters. His second, team save.
Waters picks up his second. It's the 8th on Rhema. They have averaged a foul a minute here in this second half. Jackson 69% at the line during the season. And he rims in the first one.
In for the Eagles, number 30, Delvin Tucker.
Delvin Tucker into the game for Rhema. Jackson got it to go, 62-46. The lead out to 16 for Kansas. And again, they show the trap. Brown throws it to Jones in the forecourt. Jones attacking, shot in and out, and Rhema has gone cold offensively. Washington into the lane. The cutter is Bass on the baseline, got cut off. Daniels swings it to Jackson. Jackson, hop step in the lane, can't get the bucket. Ball batted out, chasing it down is DeSer. I don't know what John Jansen said to this team in the locker room, but they look completely different. They had no legs against Champion yesterday. They started this game very flat, but they have woken up. Another foul on Rhema.
Eagles foul number 30, Delvin Tucker. His second.
That's team foul number 9, so it's a double bonus for Kansas. We're not yet midway through this second half.
In for the Eagles were 4, Josh Toronto at the line.
Toronzo into the game, and Antonio Daniels back at the line. Daniels 3 for 4 today. Can't get the front end. Brown pushing. Floats it up short in the lane. Chase down his miss. Guerrero top of the key. Fakes the 3. Drives to the bucket. Scoops it up. Nope. Daniels the board. Outlet to Jackson. Jackson. Washington. And now he'll back it out. Good job by the Eagles getting back on defense. Daniels, the cutter, DeSer. Unselfish play right now for Kansas. And a timeout for Kansas as they up their lead. 64-46. We'll be back. So the scoreboard here has it 62-46. It's been a constant second guessing this whole tournament between me and the scoreboard here, but that's the official score, so that's what we're going with. I might have given Kansas an extra bucket at some point. Who knows? Falcons still in the press, leading by 16. Not yet midway through this second half. And that's a 10-second violation. The press working again. This has completely messed with the psyche for Rhema. Okay, now they put this 2 points back on the board. So there we go, 64-46. I'm telling you, folks, it has not been right all tournament long. Top of the key, Daniels missed the jumper. DeSer the rebound. Jackson. DeSer got doubled up. I think he thought he was going to get contact there. Another steal. This time it's Washington with the steal. Jackson back to Washington, lays it up and in. 66-46, Kansas by 20. And another steal. Jackson takes it himself. Why not? So things not looking good for the Eagles. They are out of sync offensively. Toronzo tries the three, banks it in, and that's the first points for Rhema in at least 4 minutes. Here's Daniels. Washington with the assist as Daniels with a nice spin move. Like what I've seen from Antonio Daniels. He's listed as a senior, so Kansas Christian only getting 1 year out of him, but a lot of production for him. Toronzo back-to-back buckets for Rhema. Daniels again. Daniels at 6'6", no match for Rhema. Rhema able to break the press that time. Toronzo throws it up and in, so that's now 7 straight points for Toronzo. Inside 9 to play here in this consolation game. Playing a game for the 7th place game. Winner will play for 7th against the loser of Barclay and Ozark, which is coming up later on. And the loser is done. 10 team fouls now on Rhema, so double bonus time for Kansas. Corday Bass at the line, 71% during the regular season. Kansas just 14 turnovers a game, forcing 22.2. They might have forced 22 turnovers on Rhema in the second half alone. Del Guerrero, Hagan, and number 15 is Jeremy Pearley, all in for Rhema. Free throw goes in and out, so the lead is 20. And Rhema throws it out of bounds. The Falcons from Overland Park, Kansas, 20-win season for John Jansen in his second year. Jansen, a good high school coach in the Kansas City, Kansas suburbs. He won a state championship at Overland Christian. Nice shot there by Corday Bass. There's Brown up top. This is Hagan. Looking underneath for Guerrero, and another turnover for Rhema. Perry Shockley's got his hands over his head, and there's not much you can do or say at this point that you haven't said before. Washington drives, Bass for 3. Can't get it to go. Daniels there with the offensive rebound. He throws it too high, but chasing it down is Jackson. Good ball movement again, and the two-hand jam by Corday Bass. Guerrero in transition off the make. That ball taken away. It's Brown with the steal. 5-on-1. Guerrero to Hagan. Missed the bunny. Brown will put it up and in, though. And the lead is 20. And Stephone Jackson is hobbling off the court for Kansas. Darwin James will come in for him. And a timeout by the Eagles. 7:25 left to go here in this consolation game. It's all Kansas. We'll be back here in just a moment. Chris Shime back here in Joplin, Missouri. 77-57, Kansas leading by 20. Darwin James into the forecourt. Hope the best for Stephone Jackson. Looks like he might have rolled his ankle. Out of control, Bass got it to go in the lane. And now it's another steal, Washington. Bass turnaround shot, no. Offensive rebound to Sir, and it's good. So it's safe to say that Kansas is on their way to the 7th place game, and Rhema will wrap up tournament play here today. Eagles with another foul. Falcons have been in the double bonus. So with Kansas up by 24 points, they have just 2 team fouls, by the way. Darwin James will go to the line, 57% free throw shooter. James, 13 points a game, 4.5 rebounds, 4 assists a game, and had 58 steals during the regular season. Hagan, pass deflected. Another steal for Kansas. And it will be Falcons basketball. Rhema has not been able to figure out the press at all today. Kansas employing it in the second half. They were down by 9 at one point in the second half, which seems like forever ago. It's probably only about 10 minutes of game time ago. Guerrero in transition scores. Daniels to the bucket, yes. Kansas had 30 points at the half, I think. Kansas trailed 35-30. Rhema at one point in the second half led 39-30. Since then, 56-20. 56 points for Kansas And I would venture to say that was probably in the last 12 minutes of game time. They've scored 56 points. Maybe a little, no, it was about 18-minute mark in the second half that Rhema was up by 9. You can, on YouTube, you can rewind and fast forward, and so you can go back and look it up yourself if you want to at home or at work, wherever you are, but that is ridiculous. That is a tremendous amount of points. Jones looking for Hagan, and Hagan's going to be fouled by Jackson, who thought he had to steal. Four on Kansas. Guerrero drives in, it's poked away, and Rhema just forcing every pass. Washington kicks it out, Jackson for 3, and that'll roll off the backboard out of bounds. Jones can't get it. Rebound to himself, and he puts it up and in. Daniels will back it out. Half circle jumper for Daniels, goes around the rim and out. Guerrero 3-on-2, scoops it up and in. Rhema cuts it down to 20. Inside 5 to go. Washington from the free throw line rims it in. Ja'Cory Washington, 10 points per ball game during the regular season, 49% shooter. Here's Toronzo. Hagan, yes. Darwin James into the forecourt. Turnaround shot by Murray in the lane. Hagan with the box out and rebound. Brown throws full court to Guerrero. He'll scoop it up and in. Rhema calls for time. 4:13 left to go. Kansas still in control. Eagles trying to make it interesting. Kansas with the basketball, leading by 18. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you here in Joplin. This 2019 ACCA tournament rolls along on day 3. This is game number, what are we on now? We're on game number 11 of 21. So we have passed the midway point. Hagan has fouled out of the game. Ben Waters comes back in for him, and 2 free throws to come for B.J. Murray, freshman from Arkansas. Kansas a chance to go back up by 20. Murray, 62% free throw shooter during the regular season. And he gets them both. Kansas 1 point away from its season average of 91 points per game. Inside 4 to go. There's Del Guerrero. We won't soon forget his performance in the loss to Carolina. 51 points for Guerrero. That's going to be team foul number 5 on Kansas. Guerrero connects on the first free throw. And rims in the second. James into the forecourt. James bounced past to Daniels. And Daniels has been a man amongst boys here this afternoon. Jones out to Toronzo for 3. Yes. Like what I've seen from Toronzo in these last couple of games, especially for the Eagles. Good shooter. Knows how to get himself open, too. DeSer from mid-range got it to go. Guerrero goes behind the back, took about 8 steps, did not get called for travel. Jones for 3, got it to go. Oh, it's a 16-point game. Murray for 3, yes. Kansas is knocking on the door of 100 points. So Kansas is going to win for the 3rd time this year against Rhema. And it's nice to see them playing up to their potential here in the second half. I don't want to take anything away from the way Champion played yesterday because they played outstanding to upset Kansas. But Kansas looked flat yesterday. They had 30 points at the end of the first half here today. They've got 67 points here in the second half already. They have really come alive. Three-point play incomplete. Bass the rebound. Darwin James running the show. Daniels. Nice pass underneath. And DeSer got blocked. Looked like a clean block, but they call a foul on Rhema because that's just what you do here in this tournament. Del Guerrero picking up his second. I thought that was a clean block. I think they got that one wrong. Kansas can tack a few more onto their total, though, and approach the century mark. DeSer gets the first. And Wilkins make it 2 out of 2. 99-80. Darwin James almost had a steal. So Rhema's season will end at 8-17 as Toronzo gets the 3 to go. Kansas is going to win their 21st of the season. DeSer, and he's fouled. More free throws with 1:42 to come. So if you're a Kansas fan, you want to keep an eye on our 2 o'clock game. It's Barclay, the 8th seed, taking on Ozark, the 5 seed. The loser of that game will play in the 7th place game against your Falcons. So if you want to keep an eye on that one, we'll have it for you. It's going to be a video-only broadcast. I'm going to give the pipes a rest. Kansas reaches the century mark. Kansas, this is the 7th time this season that the Falcons have scored over 100 points. They are 7-0 in those games. Twice against Rhema. Some subs coming in. 15 is Zach Anderson for Kansas. 30 is Deshaun Graves. And number 20 is Mendogas Veda. Driving is Jones, and another whistle.
Falcons foul number 20, Mendogas Veda is first.
Jones will try to complete the old school three-point play.
At the line for the Eagles, number 23, Deshaun Jones.
So short-handed Rhema. The champions from 2017 are going to go 0-3 here in 2019. Even though he's not with us and hasn't been with the team for a while, we wish Kendrick Williams, the lone senior, well. Blocking foul is called. So more free throws for Rhema here. Brown at the line. Brown, what a bright spot this year for Rhema. Just a junior. He'll come back for his senior year next year. 20 points a game. Second leading rebounder from the guard position in the ACCA. First in assists per game at 4.6. And the lead is 14. Stephone Jackson going to come back into the game, replacing Corday Bass. Kansas, it's a steal. Here's Toronzo missing the layup. Jackson collects on the rebound. We go inside, 1 minute left to go here in this consolation game. Murray puts it up short. Throws it out. Here's a three by Graves off the mark. Long rebound chased down by Guerrero. Guerrero to the bucket, no, and the rebound controlled by Veda. Veda throws it full court. Murray with a little cherry pick, and he's got an easy two. Brown gets it out, Toronzo. Toronzo had his pocket picked. Steal by Graves. Graves. Veda gets it out. And getting poked from behind was Anderson. Here is Guerrero scooping it up and in. So Kansas can run it out here. They will win their 21st of the season and sweep the season against Rhema 3-zip, winning today 103-89. Take a look at the updated bracket for you. So it's score, it's Kansas 103, Rhema 89. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll talk to you again in 25 minutes.